In the startup world, few names shine and collapse quite like WeWork. From a staggering $47 billion valuation to a humbling bankruptcy filing. This is more than just a business failure. It's a modern-day parable, a story of vision, hype, power, delusion, and billions of dollars lost. So how did a company that promised to elevate the world's consciousness crash and burn so hard? Let's rewind the clock and unpack the spectacular rise and fall of WeWork. WeWork began in 2010. Two co-founders, Adam Neumann and Miguel McKelvey. They weren't the first to do shared office spaces, but they had a twist: community. Their pitch wasn't just about renting desks. It was about building a movement. A movement for freelancers, remote workers, and young startups. Places where people could feel inspired, creative, and part of something bigger. Think of it as Starbucks meets Silicon Valley meets office leasing. But what made WeWork stand out wasn't the business model. It was the messenger. Adam Neumann wasn't your typical CEO. He was charismatic, bold, visionary. He told investors that WeWork wasn't a real estate company. It was a tech company that happened to lease buildings, and investors ate it up. Between 2010 and 2019, WeWork exploded. From one location in Soho, New York, to over 800 spaces across more than 100 cities. The company raised money fast and spent it faster. Office lounges with kombucha on tap, massive parties with celebrity performances, insane office perks. They even bought a wave pool company. But behind the scenes, the company was bleeding cash. They'd sign long-term leases, 10 to 15 years, with landlords, then rent those spaces out on short-term flexible contracts. If the market dipped or people stopped signing leases, WeWork would be stuck. The business model looked more like high-risk arbitrage than tech innovation. Still, none of that stopped Masayoshi Son, the CEO of SoftBank, from betting big. $10 billion big. Masayoshi believed Adam was the next Steve Jobs. He gave him more money than any startup had ever seen and told him to go even faster. With money pouring in and valuations soaring, Adam Neumann went from entrepreneur to rock star. He flew around the world in private jets. He trademarked the word "we" and sold it back to his own company for $6 million. He bought buildings and leased them to WeWork. He launched WeGrow, a private school for kids. WeLive, an attempt at co-living apartments. There was even talk of WeBank, WeSail, and WeSleep. The company was becoming less about office space and more about Adam's ego. Employees started to notice. Behind the scenes, the culture became chaotic. Executives were fired just as fast as they were hired. Some described WeWork as a party that never stopped, until the hangover hit. In 2019, WeWork filed to go public. This was supposed to be their big moment, but the IPO filing was a disaster. Investors finally got a look under the hood, and what they saw was shocking. Massive losses, over $1.6 billion in a single year. Conflict of interest deals involving Adam, a CEO with complete control and minimal oversight, and a mission statement that talked more about saving the world than running a business. Within days, investor interest vanished. The IPO was delayed, then canceled. WeWork's valuation plummeted from $47 billion to just $8 billion. Board members revolted. SoftBank stepped in again, this time with conditions. Adam Neumann had to go. He left with a reported exit package worth $1.7 billion. Meanwhile, thousands of employees were laid off. Offices were shut down. Reality had caught up. After Adam's departure, a new leadership team took over. They cut costs, shut down side ventures, and tried to steady the ship. In 2021, WeWork finally went public, this time via a SPAC merger. But it wasn't the triumphant return investors hoped for. The stock price dropped. And then, the pandemic hit. Suddenly, no one wanted office space. Remote work wasn't a trend, it was the new norm. And WeWork's flexible office dream, it turned into a nightmare. Office occupancy plummeted. Revenues dried up. By 2023, the writing was on the wall. In November 2023, WeWork filed for bankruptcy. A company once worth nearly $50 billion, now worth close to nothing. So, what can we learn from the rise and fall of WeWork? Lesson 1. Charisma is not competence. Adam Neumann could sell a dream, but he couldn't build a sustainable business. Lesson 2. Don't call yourself a tech company if you're not one. WeWork was real estate, not software. That mattered. Lesson 3. Scale after you prove product market fit. WeWork tried to grow too fast, too soon. Lesson 4. Hype doesn't beat fundamentals. Cool perks and big visions are great, but the business model has to work. Lesson 5. Transparency builds trust. The IPO filing revealed everything, and investors fled. If your success depends on secrecy, you might not have real success. Lesson 6. Stay grounded, even when the money's flowing. When you're burning billions, it's not time for tequila-fueled office parties. It's time to be a CEO. WeWork isn't just a failed startup. It's a lesson for every founder, investor, and dreamer. A reminder that even the biggest vision needs solid ground beneath it. So next time someone tells you they're going to change the world, ask them if they've paid this month's rent. If you found this video valuable, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dives into the world of business, and let us know in the comments. What's your biggest takeaway from WeWork's story?